Hi, Living Hope. So today we're going to talk about Jesus' sending strategy with the disciples. So before we get into the lesson, I wanted to do something a little fun, hopefully. And so if you want to pause this and go get a piece of paper and a pencil and come back, we're going to draw something. Let's get started. And as we're drawing, I want you to see if you can guess what it is. All right, here we go. So, first thing I want you to do is draw an oval. Okay? Draw a little something like that. Any guesses as to what this might be? Maybe? All right, let's keep going. Draw a circle up here. We can erase that little line. And let's draw a circle here and a circle here. Erase those little lines inside. Draw kind of a crescent and color it in. Okay, any guesses as to what it might be now? All right, let's keep going. Draw a little squiggle here. All right. Now we're going to draw some big ovals and a big oval here. Okay. I'm going to draw a line like that and a line like that. I want you to erase this little bit, and then we're going to erase the outside line here. Okay, it's becoming a little bit clearer. You might have some guesses now. All right, so little triangle, another little triangle. Let's add some lines down here, and ooh, we need this. Okay, and the last little bit, draw some rectangles out here. Okay, so do you have any guesses as to what it is now? It's a little crawfish. Maybe he needs a little smiley face. Make him happy. All right, so I want to read something to you as we're talking about Jesus' sending strategy for his disciples. So we're going to be in Matthew. I'm going to read Matthew 10, verse 5, and we're going to see how this whole thing started. So it says, "These 12 Jesus sent out, instructing them, 'Go nowhere among the Gentiles and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.'" So you might read that and think, why weren't they allowed to go to the Gentiles and to the Samaritans? Doesn't Jesus want everyone to hear the gospel? And we know the answer to that. Of course he does. But he first sent people to just the lost sheep of Israel. We might wonder why that might be. The Israelites had had the law the whole time. They had heard that there was going to be a Savior this whole time. Their hearts were ready to accept who Jesus was as the Son of God. And so first, Jesus sent the 12 to the lost sheep of Israel. We know it didn't stop there. So that is kind of like when we drew this picture up here. When we first started, we just saw a little bit. It wasn't clear what the whole plan was. But let's see what happened next. So, let's go to Luke 10 and verse 1. So after they had gone to the lost sheep of Israel, this is what happened next. It says, "After this, the Lord appointed 72 others and sent them on ahead of him, 2 by 2, into every town and place where he himself was about to go." Okay, so first he sent people to the lost sheep of Israel. And then he sent them to every town and place he was about to go. So now it was going everywhere. And we know that we benefited from that because we've heard the gospel and we've accepted Jesus, right? For those of us who put our relationship and our trust in him, had a relationship and put our trust in him. And so The question for you is, where are you? Have you put your trust in Jesus? And if not, you can do that today. There's no special prayer or a magic formula for trusting in Jesus. It's just realizing that there are wrong things that you do. Sometimes you think or say or do things that are wrong, that God says are wrong. That's called sin. All of us are sinners. We all sin, and we all fall short, right? And we can't fix that sin problem on our own. We can't good our way to make up for it. We need somebody else to fix it, somebody who's perfect. And the only one who was perfect was Jesus. And he came and he died on the cross, and he paid the price for all those sins so that he could fix that sin problem in our heart and just take it away. And so if we put our trust in him, he does. He takes all of our sin on himself, and he pays for it. And so if we believe that Jesus really did that for us, and if we believe that he really rose from the dead, that death couldn't beat him, and if we commit our lives to him, then that's the gospel. That's salvation. If you believe those things and you say, God, I'm sorry for the wrong things I've done. I want to live my life for you. Then he will save you. And you can be a part of his plan to tell other people about him. And if you already have a relationship with him, go and tell other people about him. Tell your family about him. Tell your neighbors about him. Tell your friends about him. Now that looks a little bit different right now, but maybe you see somebody in the neighborhood when you're out in your front yard, and you can talk to them about Jesus. Jack, I hope you guys have had fun drawing. I know that Jack has had fun drawing. He has drawn all over his face today. You see that? So, yeah. So we love you, and hope you have a great rest of your Sunday.